So before I talk, it's kind of hard.
This is Darby Allen, and you're watching Extreme Virtual Pro Wrestling.
Extreme. So before I talk about this episode, I just want to let you know that when I was a kid growing up, there was there was Bret Hart and all that stuff, and I was a huge Shawn Michaels fan. But before Shawn Michaels, among the Harts, I did watch that WrestleMania between Owen Hart versus Bret. I was a big Owen Hart fan because of the high flying and all that stuff. Then Shawn Michaels came along, and I'm a big Shawn Michaels fan, but I liked Owen Hart. The whole danger and he was cool. He was very entertaining. He had more character than Bret, and I think that was always a fan favorite of his and whatnot. But yeah, there was actually I didn't watch the other past Dark Side of the Rings. I mean, I only watched the ones that I grew up watching. It wasn't like New Jack was like a fan favorite because ECW and all that stuff. And when I found out that they're gonna do the Owen Hart one, I was like, oh, wow, I really gotta watch this one, because I remember that during the Attitude time, I remember hearing about that, and it was a talk of the school, so yeah. But yeah, this is gonna be a tough one, guys. This is gonna be a tough one. I haven't done this in a while, but here are 5 things that I learned about this episode. Alright, so number 1, during the Attitude Era, the time when everybody was watching wrestling, the Monday Night Wars, it kind of sucked because they did not know what to do with Owen Hart. I mean, Bret already left to WCW after the screw job, and he was actually the one that was consoling Bret during that time too, I remember. But yeah, to find out that creative did not know what to do with Owen Hart, during a time where you saw Jim Cornette talk about it, especially Jim Ross, you have one of the most best wrestlers, especially during that time. Owen Hart was part of a huge wrestling family, like the Sopranos, the royal family of wrestling, and you do not know what to do with Owen Hart. Really? Skill, skill alone doesn't especially during that time, skill alone can get you over. You have to have a fancy gimmick and stuff like that. So, and he didn't want to do those crazy, during the Attitude Era he had a lot of crazy gimmicks, but he didn't want to do the whole anything that will ruin his relationship with his wife and kids and all that stuff. So it wasn't stuff like that he wasn't into. So the fact that creative did not know what to do with him, that kind of sucked, So let's talk about the Blue Blazer. I believe when Owen started in WWF, he had the Blue Blazer gimmick. Is based, I don't want to say a luchador, but yeah, he had a mask on and all that stuff, and he was a high flyer, and all that stuff. So he was a Blue Blazer when he first started, before WWF became Attitude. So during the Attitude Era, they brought back the Blue Blazer gimmick, but it was more of a joke, so yeah, that's whack. And I guess when they were feuding with WCW, how Sting would come down to Raptors, well, they did that with the Blue Blazer, and apparently that's supposed to be a spoof of Sting. Man, that sucks, bro. Yeah. So yeah, that's, and number 3. So the Over the Edge pay-per-view. So when I was watching, sorry guys, a little touchy right now. Owen Hart, Over the Edge pay-per-view. So during that night and whatnot, on that pay-per-view that night, he was having bad, think he was feeling some sort of way, bubble in the guts, nervousness, all that stuff. Jim Ross was like talking to him apparently. But yeah, I think him and Godfather was going about the match, and even the Godfather said that yeah, he wasn't feeling well. D'Lo was there too, and you know what? You ever had those feelings at stuff like that where you have to listen to your gut or feel your gut, like yo, I can't. They could have found anybody, you know, but it had to be him, and that sucks because I have those feelings too. Like if I'm not feeling right or nah, I'm not feeling the guy. Sorry, like. Yeah. So during that night, I guess he knew, you know, I guess he knew that like it's not going well. All right. But yeah, so yeah. And apparently his last words,
when Owen was falling, everybody that was there said the last thing that he yelled was, "Look out. A guy's fallen from 100 feet, and he knows he's done. And the last thing he's thinking is, look out, I don't want to hurt you." You know, it was foolish, it was unnecessary, it didn't need to happen.
Was look out. And yeah, that's what happened. Number 2. So apparently they used a different carabiner. During that night. It was like a last minute change or something. And yeah. So, and I guess the fact that they continued on right after that, like, and I could, you know, I guess Jim Cornette was like, you know, he's one of those where like he was so upset the fact that they could have stopped the whole entire show, but the fact that 4 or 5 matches had to go right after that incident sucks. It fucking sucks, you know. And number 1, yeah. So there's this thing called Owen Hart Foundation, you know, to give back to the community and everything, you know, something to honor his legacy, you know. Not as a wrestler, but as a person, a human being, right? So, his wife, especially kids and all that stuff, well, just to let it out there, he will never be in the WWE Hall of Fame. And I think after watching this video, I mean, right after the show, yeah, I can probably say that he'll probably never be in the Hall of Fame. And at the end of the day, after especially watching Dark Side of the Ring, I respect that. You know, as much as people would like that to happen, personally me, he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. You know, and this is not me picking on WWE or shooting on them, but like, it's kind of fucked. It's kind of messed up, you know. It's kind of, yeah. This probably is the most emotional video, I have to say, and this is just me shooting right now. I'm not probably gonna edit this like this. I'll probably just add stuff, you know, little clips of the Dark Side of the Ring. But yeah, the fact that the nerve to continue on with the show. I mean, I know Vince likes to, you know, the show must go on, and as a person who's an entertainer and all stuff, like the show must go on. Like I understand that, you know, but as something like this, like, you know, a death that happened in the ring, on the middle of the ring, and I could only imagine how the other wrestlers felt like performing on a crime scene that literally happened just like moments ago before that, and the fact that you have to go on after that sucks, man. But that's just me, and that's my thoughts, and I'm kind of looking forward to the next season of Dark Side of the Ring. I don't know what's gonna happen, but what a way to start it off and end it off like that, man. makes you wonder, right? It makes you wonder and stuff. But anyways, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe down below. I'm your host, 4Eyes, and if you guys haven't seen One Night the Light, check it out. It's a pretty cool episode. It was Damien Cross versus Jake Youth. Really two newcomers to the XVPW roster, and they really gave it all right there. But yeah, my name is 4Eyes. Peace.
Hey, it's Johnny Wrestling, or Johnny Takeover as my shirt says right now. I am here at Evolve in New York City, and you are watching Extreme Virtual Pro Wrestling.
Extreme.